Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, the former CS for Agriculture, Mithika Linturi, was on Weru TV, that is a vernacular TV in Meru. And during the 2 hours interview, there is a lot that Mithika Linturi was able to reveal to Kenyans. You know, today there is difference between when Mithika Linturi was serving as the CS and when he is out of the government. And above all, one thing that you should know is that if Mithika Linturi will put a blame as far as the complaints, many complaints that were coming to his office to another office where the issue of fertilizer scandals was also exposed, Mithika Linturi will be held responsible since there is no that protection that he had earlier. Now, Ruto talked about firing Rigathi Gachagua for pushing for tribalism appointment, that Gachagua was a tribal man. Because of that reason, he was fired. There is a different version that Mithika Linturi told the Kenyans live on TV. According to Mithika Linturi, Ruto should stop talking about tribalism because in the ministry where Mithika Linturi was appointed to, he was running a ministry where 26 out of 40 staff were from one community. With this, the lesson I'm learning here is that if Gachagua was pushing for appointment of Kikuyus, it was because he saw Ruto appointing Kalenjins. So Gachagua was equally just asking for a share of what Ruto had done. So on the issue of tribalism, before Ruto would say Gachagua was a tribal man, Gachagua was learning from him. So they were all tribalist leaders. Only that Gachagua was making noise for his people to get appointed. But for Ruto, he was silently implementing the tribalism card. So that is it. My relationship with the, another issue that Mithika Linturi talked about is that ministers. Now, this one now explain how out of 40 appointed people in his ministry, 26 was from one tribe. This is how it used to happen. That ministers are toothless. They're toothless in this manner that even appointment that happened in their various ministries, they are not aware about. They are not aware. You just found a paper with your name showing the appointment of new people. Lakini hukujua paper bearing your name with appointments. Wanakuambia sign. Period. Tulisema haya mambo kitambo. People took it like a joke. Mithika Linturi ametuambia kwamba mimba imefika miezi 9, ni wakati wa kujifungua sasa. So this is what he said. I quote him. My relationship with the head of public service was very bad because I used to question some of the doing in government, and on appointments, ministers are toothless. They just find their name having appointed someone and you cannot question. Unapata tu jina yako pale kwa barua imeandikwa, umeappoint watu. Lakini nani ameappoint? Felix Koskei from State House. That explains the reason why in one ministry you would have 26 Kalenjin out of 40. Imagine even it's more than half. Lakini Ruto ametuambia Gachagua ndiye alikuwa tribalist. Reason Gachagua alikuwa anaongea, lakini Ruto alikuwa amenyamaza, ana implement the tribalism card. So you get the message here. Now, The issue of fertilizer is something that is still haunting Mithika Linturi. Even if Mithika Linturi will be appointed or vie for an office, the question about fertilizer is still here. People talked about fake fertilizer. Mithika Linturi was at the center. Now, one thing that politicians must know, working with William Ruto means you are ready to tarnish your name. However, uombe tu yani Mungu akusaidie, lakini you will be forced to defend William Ruto even when you know it is not the right thing to do, especially when it comes to matters that are beneficial to him. For example, Mithika Linturi is here. He's telling us about the story to do with the fake fertilizer. When he was in office, he had no option but to defend the government. There was fake fertilizer. But today, Mithika Linturi is telling us that DCI was forced to collide with the Ruto to release consignment of fake fertilizer after he got a phone call from Ruto's errand boy. One phone call from State House, fake fertilizer has been released. Who will answer this question? Mithika Linturi. The government spokesperson told us that Russia brought in raw material for fertilizer. But today, Mithika Linturi is telling us that the fertilizer that came to this country was not raw material, it was ready fertilizer. Mambo ya blending na mambo mengine tu. So, when the fertilizer came to this country, they sold it to companies in the name of blending. Then the company resold back to the government, so the government will distribute it to the people at 2,500. Raila also talked about this. The issue here now we are learning is that fertilizer yenyeletwa hapa ilikuwa ready fertilizer for use. Sasa waliuza aje kwa kampuni, ndio kampuni iuza kwa serikali tena, ndio serikali iuzie wananchi. Fertilizer yenye ilikuwa tayari. Tuambia raw material. Again, this eye also comes in. So now we can get to understand why Mithika Linturi was able to evade the impeachment. It was not Mithika Linturi on the trial. It was William Ruto. So the matter here was that you go and protect me, and I will protect you. You will not be impeached. So Mithika Linturi angekuwa impeached saizi, hangesimama kiti chochote. How was he saved? State House. Just one phone call. That tells you how State House was involved in the issue of fake fertilizer. So it was true, it was real, there was fake fertilizer in this country. The fertilizer that came to this country was tampered with. That's how desperate people in leadership can go when they are looking for money. But the sabotage here was on farming. That's why I'm convinced the statement from Kipruto Arap Kirwa, the former assistant minister, why I haven't been quick to lynch Mithika Linturi is that we should hear his part of the story, because this is a scam of national proportion, in the sense that it is not about fertilizer, it is about sabotage on food production. I don't believe Mithika is solely responsible, but he is responsible that he misled the public. Alikuwa na defend serikali. It is sabotage on the food security. It's like people have interest in selling their product or importing food to this country and make money out of that. How do you do it? Sabotage farmers, sell fake fertilizer. Then there is no harvest. After that, you have business, booming business, to now import food, or now bring the one that you farmed, because we have heard that there are politicians who have land, thousands of acres of lands outside that are doing farming. Ndio walete hiyo wakuja wauza hapa Kenya. They might be in business. There's so many things Mithika Linturi has talked about this regime, but it was actually in vernacular. It was in vernacular. So this is his final point. If only I knew President William Ruto would change, I would have thought otherwise on supporting him. He is no longer the prayerful, humble man we knew. He is not consistent. Honestly, we thought he was different. That is statement. Gachagua also talked about the issue of fake fertilizer, and he said Mithika Linturi was just being sacrificed. So statement ya Gachagua na Mithika same, a Ruto tofauti. We'll be waiting to get more and just to understand really what was going on in this government as these guys come out to speak their side of story.